Hello everybody, Redgamemaster here, and today is Friday, so it's Friday fun. Now, I'm sure some of you are wondering, well, what's going on? Usually you play games that you haven't played, but this time you're doing something different. This time you're playing Subnautica, one that you've already played a fair bit of. Well, for those of you that have watched those old videos, you'll remember that I promised, or I said at least, that when the full game came out, I would come back to it. Unfortunately, right now, so luckily, or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, it came out this week. The official launch was this week with the live stream and everything. But I don't have any openings in my weekly schedule. And because my videos are so long, I don't want to release more than one a day. So I figured, since the game that I wanted to do for this Friday hasn't quite panned out yet, that I would play Subnautica for you guys. We'll start from the beginning and see how far we get in 1 hour. Before we start, though, I do want to say one little thing. Actually, you know what? Let me get it started up. And just for the sake of it, let's go with freedom, since we've only got an hour. That way we don't have to worry about water or food. So anyway, while it's loading, I do want to say, first of all, sorry for there not being a Friday fun last week. I was upset because of everything that was happening with YouTube about the video that was released last week. And I needed some time not only to get back to my normal self, but also a bit of time to try and figure things out, because if it's going to be quite a while after for me to reach those requirements. But first of all, though, I do want to thank everyone. I have gotten more subscribers in the last week and a half than I got in the entire time I was doing videos last year. So thank you everyone for doing that. That I wanted to say is that for those that are interested, I have a Patreon. I have had it for a while, actually. I just didn't advertise it, mainly being that I had so few subscribers, I would have felt bad if I did it. But since I have no chance of earning, or at least before too much longer, I will have no chance of earning any money from YouTube whatsoever, I figured I'd throw it out there. From now on, the link to my Patreon is going to be in the iCard on the top right. And I'm going to pause for a sec. Okay, I thought I was just going to go right in. Will be in the top right. In fact, it should be there right now for those of you watching the video after the fact, and also for those of you watching the video after the fact, once it's been edited, I mean. There will be a link at the end of the video so that people that want to get a kind of a taste of how we do things around here, so they can watch the video and then at the end they can choose to make the decision. And for those of you that are watching the live stream now, as well as the people that are watching the edited video, the link to my Patreon is also going to be in the description down below. Now, I think I've got a few nice rewards there, but I would love to hear from anyone as to if they think the rewards are worth it or whatnot, if they think there's some other way to do it. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this.
Launch in 3, 2, 1.
Ouchie. All right. Alright. Not gonna burn now.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is considered an optimal outcome. This PDA has now rebooted in emergency mode with one directive: to keep you alive on an alien world. Please refer to the databank for detailed survival advice. Good luck.
Alright, so yeah, sorry, that's probably gonna happen a few times. So yeah, actually a lot has changed on the way things look. Especially menus and resource icons and whatnot. So one of the first things we're going to want to get our hands on is a repair tool. For that we need silicone and rubber. Actually, I think we need... Oh no, we can make silicone rubber. So we're going to need silicone rubber, cave sulfur, and 1 bit of titanium. That's actually not too bad, but let's head up to see what we can see what's up here. Oh, hi, bird man thingy. And there's the ship we came on. Oh, little peeper jumping out.
The Aurora suffered orbital hull failure. Cause unknown. 0 human life signs detected.
Oh, that's not good. Alright, well, might as well go and see what we got. Oh, also, apparently from the last time I played, which was actually only a month or so ago, they've added achievements. I guess that was part of what came out in the original release. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna want to get that cave sulfur, some titanium, and the other thing for the silicone rubber, we're gonna need this over here. Let's see, let's get some of these bubbles. Should be able to, there we go, recover a bit of air from them. So we're going to want these glowy seeds here. Don't worry about those guys down there. As long as we don't go down too low, they shouldn't bother us. They're mostly entertained by the bits of titanium.
New blueprint acquired.
Okay, so let's make sure we're getting plenty of these. That way we don't have to come back too often. Alright, let's head back up to the surface because there's no way we're going to make it all the way back to our life pod before our air runs out.
Oxygen.
Yep. There we go. So, unless I'm mistaken, we've got 45 seconds of oxygen. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what that means, since we don't have anything to make it so that it lasts for longer. Alright. In from the bottom. Now, we should be able to make ourselves that silicone rubber. Gonna want 2 of these, just to get us started off with. And the rest of it will turn into lubricant, because we're going to need a lot of that later on.
Lubricant is essential in construction of vehicles and power plants.
Yep. Alright. Let's make 1 more silicone rubber. Silicone rubber takes 2. Lubricant only takes 1. So we're going to put all of this back in. So yeah, each one of those plants before took up 4 spaces. So now we've cut down some of what we're using. Alright, so we don't have to worry about food. These really aren't going to matter too much. I'm actually not used to that. Oh, whoa, big guy flew up. Going right by it, right then. Alright, so cave sulfur. Obviously that's going to be down here in these caves. Let's see if we can't find one of the guys that we're looking for. Oh, I hear you. I see you. You came from here. Ah, here we go. Oh, jeez. Run, 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 run. Ow. Alright, well, we might as well... Are you kidding me? Were 3 of them in there? Alright, up to the surface, up to the surface. There we go. Alright, so now all we need is some titanium, which we can just grab this scrap down here. And now we've got ourselves some titanium to get our... Well, once we refine that, we've got ourselves some titanium. So refine that. And we get 4 titanium out of each piece. Now we're going to make ourselves... Wait, oh, that's right. I put all the silicone rubber away, didn't I? Now we've got ourselves a repair tool. Alright, I'm gonna switch this up. Sorry, not used to using tab. Alright. Idiot. Don't touch that. Alright, let's get this panel repaired so we get the lights back on. There we go. Let's get this repaired. Oh, message on the radio. Well, that's a long time. So this here's a medkit fabricator. It'll make us a new medkit every once in a while. Since we took some health damage from those little exploding guys, let's do that. So as you guys can see there, it's actually counting up to that. So the next thing we're gonna want, actually, let's see what's in here. Oh yeah, let's get ourselves a standard tank. Right now we can only hold 45. Once that's equipped, we're up to 75. And let's get ourselves some fins. So we're going to need 2 more silicone rubber. So I guess it's actually a good thing that we made what we did, right? Here to there. Ooh, and there's a new tank. Let's see what that means.
Available data to provide environment appropriate equipment using locally available materials. For your safety, this setting cannot be overridden.
Okay. So for this we're going to need the standard tank we have, 2 glass, 4 titanium, and silver ore. But that's going to be a little bit difficult to get our hands on. Let's see, next thing we're going to want is the scanner, which is a battery and titanium. We can make a battery here in electronics, 2 acid mushrooms, and 1 copper ore. So we're going to need copper ore and more titanium. Luckily copper ore is not too difficult to get our hands on. There we go. There's the acid mushrooms. And that's the crystalline stuff we're going to need for the glass. Are these the same? Yeah, that's the same limestone. When you're gathering stuff, keep in mind, keep in your eye, I guess, what you're gathering from. So because limestone won't give you something like gold or diamonds, so something to keep in mind. Gonna need more titanium. I'd rather get it from scrap if there's any lying around, but it doesn't look like it. It's also getting dark. See how much longer we can stay down here? No, I'm not seeing any more scrap around. Alright, well that means we'll just have to get some. They're in those limestone deposits. We just happened to get a little bit lucky that we needed copper, and the first one that we got was copper. There we go. That. Oh no, wait, because I need 4 titanium. I know there was another one of you right back here. Where? Ah. More copper. Dang it, I'm not going to be able to see anything. Alright, you know what? Let's take a sec and see what we need to make a flashlight. Oh, we could just use the flares we have. Flashlight is battery and glass. Okay, that's not too bad. We can make that without a problem. If we go back this way, and in here, there's those crystals I told you about. Quartz crystals. I don't like the noises. Alright, head up here. Alright, so now we're gonna here make some glass from the 2 quartz. Here, and make a battery from the acid mushrooms and copper ore. Uh-oh.
Trend is consistent with damage to the Aurora's drive core sustained during planet fall.
Now we got ourselves a flashlight.
Acquired.
So right click to turn the light on and off, and that'll help us see while we're down here. So we can keep working at night. Where's that? Ah, back over here. I did get fins, right? Yeah, I've got the fins equipped. Alright, so, and actually now that we have something in our hand, you can break it with just one hit. Something to keep in mind if you guys are doing survival. See that guy? Bladderfish? They're really useful early game to help you, to help get you water. So you're gonna need them. More copper ore. We're gonna need a few of these guys. Come on. There we go. I should stop and see how much titanium I have. Alright, yeah, I've got enough titanium. Once we've got ourselves that scanner, we can start getting some of the slightly better, more efficient tech. Because you can't just get that stuff on your own. Alright, here we go. Now we just got to make another battery. Of course, here's power cell. That's for vehicles. We might get to that later. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to doing a vehicle in time. Here, tools, and scanner.
The scanner can be used to synthesize blueprints from salvage technology and to record alien biological data.
Oh, what the heck? Why is it black? That's awesome looking, but normally it's white, just like it is in the icon. Alright, let's do a little self-scan.
Self-scan complete. Vital signs normal. Continuing to monitor.
Okay. So now, the next thing we're going to want to do is go around, and as you guys may or may not have seen, we're not a threat to you, big guy. Actually, we can scan all the creatures to find out where they fit into the ecosystem of this world. So that's a little something extra if you want to know the history of the world as a whole. Here we go. So yeah, as you're going around, you'll find little boxes like these, and you always want to check inside of them because there may be tech. Like the Sea Glide fragment, that's exactly what I was looking for. Now, if it's a fragment, you're probably going to need to get a few of them. It's highly doubtful that you'll be able to get more than one of the... Whoa. I've seen creature eggs, but I haven't ever seen one like this before. Although I doubt we'll be able to get a base in time to... So I can show you guys.
Unusually distinct and diverse ecological biomes. Further study recommended.
Yeah. Alright. Daytime's coming. So we're not going to need our flashlight nearly as much anymore. But for now, it's still a good idea. Alright, let's get ourselves more of that metal salvage. Remember, we want to keep an eye out for those boxes. Because one of the few first things we're going to want is that Sea Glide. Also something to keep in mind, don't go too far away from your life pod. Not unless there's something there that you absolutely have to have. because we got lucky with our life pod. And we landed in an area that is pretty darn safe comparatively. So we need to be careful that we don't go too far away. Otherwise, we'll find the big nasties. Basically, you'll be fine so long as the ground continues to look like this. Come on, there's got to be more boxes around here like that one. Ooh, what's down here? Another creature egg. Alright, I don't want to deal with that. Something else to keep in mind if you're going to go into the caves, be very careful about how you go in and how you come back out. It is very easy to get lost in those, and you will drown. And although, unless you picked the option with permadeath, there isn't really a huge risk to you going and dying, you can lose some valuable resources if you have some on you. So that's something you've always got to be mindful about. Oh, another message in our life pod. Alright, we'll get back there in just a minute. I've actually gone pretty far away, but see how it still looks like it's this shallow reef area? So I'm still good. Not going to find anything particularly big or nasty. Let's actually get that out of our... Ah! This is what I was looking for. You may not land in the exact... let's grab you. You may not land in the exact same place that I did when you're playing, because as far as I can tell, there seems to be a little bit of a difference in where you land. Although you'll always land in this safe area, there does seem to be a slight difference to where you can land available. So keep that in mind. And there's the sea glide. There's the second sea glide fragment. Since we have another beacon fragment here, let me show you guys something. So if you find a fragment of something that you already have, and you scan it, you get some titanium for it. So it could be a good way for you to get titanium later on when it's a little bit more difficult, because you've scavenged, because you've got all the scrap from the surrounding area. It might be a good idea to go to these might be a good idea for you to go to these wrecks and see if you can find any pieces that you've already found, that you've already got all the scans for. And one last thing, sorry if you guys are hearing a whirling in the background. Like I said in the last video, I'm having some trouble with my laptop currently. I'm trying to get it fixed myself. I'm trying to fix it myself. And I did some work on it today, but it doesn't seem to have fixed all of the problems. So sorry about that. And for those of you that aren't in the know, I actually keep my laptop back and to my right. So hopefully it won't be a huge problem for you guys with the whirling, but who knows really. Alright, you guys give me 1 second. Alright, there we go. Alright, and since we're gonna, well, yeah, for now, let's scan this just so we can have the extra titanium. Alright, almost back to our pod. Oh, so yeah, let me do this. So yeah, as I told you guys, you can scan creatures and whatnot from the world. Let's try and scan this boomerang fish. Don't worry if you can't get a solid scan of it. As long as it continues over and over again, you'll get it. It's the same thing. And giant coral tubes. And actually, let's get these little guys that are on this rock over here. They're called floaters. For obvious reasons. There we go. And we're actually going to stay away from those little green things that came out of this dude. The gasopods. But because that's a highly toxic acid. And once we get inside, and you know, I don't have to worry about drowning. I'll show you guys. Now if we come here and go, not voice log, over here to databank, we can now find geological data. This is the environment scan. May support Leviathan class predators. That's the big guys I was telling you about. Water contaminated with high levels of foreign bacteria. And planet is beyond Federation space, so rescue is unlikely. Indigenous life forms. So here's the coral, so the giant coral tubes. Coral tube samples are rich in calcium, exploitable in bleach fabrication. Fauna, herbivores, so there's the boomerang, and you guys can see that as well as kind of a skeletal thing. Tells you about the creature's serrated teeth, suggests it's for grinding up coral. Other herbivores are unable to digest. Usually this species' two fins are a cartilaginous extension of its skeleton. They are less prone to damage and provide superior propulsion, but are also harder to grow back. The bright blue tips are in fact the ends of its digestive tract, where the luminescence of the corals it consumes is most focused. Most active during the daylight hours and prone to flee on approach, the boomerang can easily be observed at night when its luminescence gives it away and it seeks the shelter of the seabed. And then large scale, so there's the gastropods, and scavengers and parasites, the floaters. So you can actually find out a lot about the creatures of this world. Alright, what do you got?
Receiving pre-recorded distress call, laying back.
This is Lifepod 3, uploading our coordinates. We're plugging some holes in our emergency sea glide, so if we're late for the rendezvous, don't panic. Also, don't go home without us. Seriously. 3 out. Signal location uploaded to PDA.
And that's where they're at. So now if we go here and we go into tools, we can find, oh no wait, that's here in deployables, yeah. So there's the beacon we got. Here's a waterproof walker, so we can store some extra stuff if the storage in our ship doesn't work out quite right. And here's the sea glide. Now see, so there's the battery, lubricant, copper wire, and titanium. So let's see. Lubricant. We've got the copper. How much copper do we need to make copper wire? 2. So we've got enough. So all we need now is a few acid mushrooms. Oh yeah, also, obviously, you can scan the acid mushrooms and these little bits of coral shell plate and writhing weed and whatnot. Basically, see how on the bottom right there is a little icon? Even if I don't have this equipped, even if it's not the last one I had equipped, you can see the scanner icon. That means it's something that you can scan to find out more about. And it's usually a good idea to do that, unless the creature is particularly violent and you're worried about it, which can happen quite a bit later on. Also, larger creatures and objects tend to take longer to scan. So keep that in mind if you're going to try and scan something that may be dangerous. There's the copper wire. Now we got ourselves a sea glide.
The sea
I'm gonna...
will increase your effective exploration range. For your safety, please pack supplies for long journeys and stay within 5 kilometers of the nearest life pod or habitat.
Alright, so we're gonna take... Actually, let's convert that titanium down. Now let's go over and see about that escape pod. Since now we have a sea glide, which allows us to go a lot faster. And it also has that little thing that allows us, gives us kind of a 3D representation of what's around us. At least solid surfaces. So yeah, see they're in the shallows, which is kind of where we're at. But, well, it seems they weren't in shallows enough. Yeah, they're not here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up this data box. These always have something a little bit useful, so that's a compass upgrade. But just like with stuff that you could scan, if it's something that you already have, you'll just get some titanium for it. There we go. Alright, so let's get this. And something that they've added since the last time I played is full audio logs for all this.
Really think it'll carry 2 of us?
Your regular sea glide tows a mass of 80 kilograms at over 30 kilometers an hour. The power cellar rig to this one should double that.
You think there's something out there that's faster?
I'm sure. And that's assuming it doesn't overload 3 meters from the life pod.
You're calm about this.
I'm seeing the engineering problem. If I stop seeing the maths, I'll be terrified.
Alright. So, as you guys saw, I actually found 2 pieces of a mobile vehicle bay. And I am definitely planning on making that because we're going to need that to make any of the submersibles that we can actually be in. Now these guys, you do want to be a little bit careful of. Their territorial.
Caution. Continued degradation of the Aurora's drive core may result in quantum detonation. Continue to monitor.
But from what I've heard, if you have something like a peeper on you, you actually can make them peaceful, so you don't have to worry about them so much. Alright, so the mobile vehicle bay, we needed 3 pieces for that, right? If we go here. Yeah, we needed 3 pieces for the mobile vehicle bay. So if we can find 2 more pieces, we can make ourselves a mobile vehicle bay, which means that we'll have a chance to be able to make some of the other vehicles in the game. Nope, you're just a sea glide fragment. I'm not interested in you. So yeah, the game's gonna warn you pretty much every time that you got 30 seconds of oxygen left. With the sea glide, you can go pretty darn fast, so as long as you're not too awfully deep, you can usually get back up in time. Now, normally I wouldn't be going into these areas quite yet. Not without a knife of some kind to scare those guys off. But I'm hoping that I can find... you've got green spots. That I can find a last piece to a mobile vehicle bay here. There we go. There's the last piece we needed. So keep that in mind, because the location of the mobile of parts doesn't really change too much in between games. So usually if you find parts in one area, you'll find them again pretty much in that exact same area. So we actually have all the scans that we needed for the mobile vehicle bay. Before we see what we need for that, let's hear this one.
Land re-recorded distress call.
This is Ozzy from the cafeteria. What the hell, guys? They didn't warn us this might happen. Our pod was almost crushed by the Seamoth Bay on the way down. Now we're hanging on the edge of a cave system, and this grim-looking snake thing's trying to eat through the hull. Come get us already.
Signal location uploaded to Peter.
Alright, so he said the Seamoth Bay. That's going to be something that we're going to want to get our hands on. Okay, titanium ingot, lubricant, and a power cell. So the power cell is the more advanced one. Let me first show you guys how to make a titanium ingot. In order to make titanium ingot, you need 10 bits of titanium. It's just here and that. Takes a little bit longer, but that's literally all it takes to make a titanium ingot. It's just a really big resource sink. So then the only other thing that we need is a power cell, which is 2 batteries and silicone rubber. What, do we have any copper? No copper. We do have the silicone rubber, so we're going to need 4 mushrooms and 2 bits of copper. It's dark out. Your Sea Glide also has a flashlight on it, and you can actually use that at any time, even when you're above the water. So it can actually act as a... Come on. There we go. It can actually act as a light if you're in your pod or in some other place that you can't really see too well and you don't want to have to take out your flashlight. Alright, that's 2 copper. Also, this big tube is going to be a good help for you early in the game because it has all that quartz crystal. And the quartz crystal is used to make glass, which is needed in some of the stuff, like the sea moth. Yeah, like the sea moth that we're going to be making. Alright, so let's go here, here, battery, battery, and power cell. A lot bigger. Let's see. Alright, now I just need to get the titanium ingot and the lubricant back out. Titanium ingot, lubricant. And now we can make ourselves a mobile vehicle bay. It's going to take a little bit to make because it is a fairly big thing. It looks small there, but it gets pretty big once you've placed it. Now then, we're going to want to go someplace that there's going to be some darker water. There's going to be some deeper water in front of us. We're going to go up to the surface, put our mobile vehicle bay, and right-click to deploy it. And there it opens up. And now we can climb up on. And now we have these 4 little guys. If we come in here, we can see what vehicles we can make. Right now, Seamoth is the only one that we know exists, but we're missing ingredients. Basically, we're missing the scans of it. Alright, so if we go in here into beacons, we can turn this one off because we don't need that anymore. Oh no, wait, yeah, we want that one. That's the one we don't want. So if you pay attention, it not only says what life pod it is, but also how deep it is. Right now, since it's just us, we don't have a limit for how deep we can go. But since it's not listed as shallows, I don't want to be going anywhere with it being so dark, even with the flashlight from our little Seamoth here. Or I always forget what this thing's called. A Sea Glide. Right. And so yeah, as you guys can actually see, there's actually planets. Something to keep in mind that I find a lot of people don't realize and get scared of is it's actually possible for that to move in front of the sun, or even that to move in front of the sun when it's up. And that actually causes the entire world to go dark, just like an actual eclipse would. So keep that in mind. If it suddenly gets really, really dark, that's probably what's happening. You're getting a little, it's getting covered up for you. All right. Daytime's almost here, and we've got another message, so let's see.
Land pre-recorded. Distress call.
This is Officer Keane in Light Pod 19. The captain is gone. I have assumed command. The last thing the captain did was give me coordinates for dry land. We regroup 1.5 kilometers southwest of the crash site. Stay together and good luck. This message will now repeat.
Rendezvous coordinates corrupted. Transmission origin coordinates downloaded. Signal location uploaded to PDA.
Alright, so that's where he is, but he's 300 feet down. He's 300 meters down. And that could be problematic for us. Because if we go down any deeper than 100 meters without something to help us with breathing, we're going to start using up our oxygen really fast. So we're going to have to get ourselves one of those before we go down there. But that's so far out, we probably wouldn't be too safe without a ship of some kind, which is why I'm coming over here. See all the pretty red grass, for lack of a better term? Those guys hide in the ground here. So, yeah. That's the worm-looking thing that he was talking about.
Scans show a nearby cave entrance 30 depth 90 meters, leading to an unknown environmental biome.
Alright, so we're going to take that.
Integrating new PDA data.
And we're going to head straight up.
Scans suggest this biome supports extensive biodiversity.
Oh, jeez.
To a number of small cave networks.
Alright, while we're here, let's open up that log.
Ozzy's log. It's the day of the crash. I don't know what the heck is happening. I'm scared and I'm not going outside. There are shadows in the water under the hatch, but I can't tell if they're rocks or aliens. And there's weird-looking caves nearby. The Aurora was carrying everything needed to build the phase gate. Mobile vehicle bays, bioreactors, propulsion cannons. It had a cinema. There was a zero-G gym. My cafe. I don't understand how we're here now. I don't know why no one's coming for me.
Passing 100 meters. Oxygen efficiency decreased.
Alright, so yeah, as you guys saw there,
Blueprint acquired.
I had found all of the sea moth fragments. There were 3 in that area, just like his message suggested there would be. So let's get back to our thing, and we'll figure out what we need to put together to be able to get ourselves a sea moth. So yeah, you guys saw what's probably the first big creature you'll ever see in this game, if you're lucky. A reefback. Luckily, they are completely peaceful. You're far too small and puny to cause them any problems, and because of that, they'll leave you alone. So what are we gonna need? Another titanium ingot, 2 glass, 1 lubricant, a power cell, and lead. Alright. Well, I have an idea of where we can find lead. But, where is the beacon? That's the second officer's one. I need the one that I originally was on. Where'd you go? Right, let's turn you red so you stick out more. Ah, there we go. Yeah, see, it wasn't sticking out enough on all that blue. Now, from what I remember, you're also going to want to keep an eye open for the Sorry. I saw that little flash and it freaked me out a little bit. You're also going to want to remember that there's a cave system near here, because I'm pretty sure that cave system ends up being rather important later. But yeah, there's a cave network all the way around this place. Alright, let's get up to the surface so that we can... Here we go. Refill our oxygen. Head down. And we're going to look on these pillars for these. Notice how it says sandstone? So these, if we actually scan them and take a look, come in as lead, silver, and gold source.
Silver-based wiring, it's an essential component of many habitat
And there's the lead that we need. You can also find these all over the ground here, salt deposits. Those will be, if you're doing survival, those are very useful later on. Because you combine those, you combine that with some, sorry. If you combine that with some coral, a specific kind, I'm pretty sure that it's just the coral tubes, you can make yourself some bleach, which allows you to create clean water. Now, the water you'll be getting up to this point would be from the bladderfish, but that's not going to fill up a huge amount. The bleach, on the other hand, will. So that's going to be mainly what you need. Alright. So then let's get in here so we can drop off the resources that we do have. There's the lead, more titanium. Actually, I want to keep that on me so I can keep an idea of what we need. Gold and silver. Alright, so we have 3. We need 10. So that one would bring us up to 7. We need 3 more after that. Alright. So... remember how we saw those little shark-looking things messing with the scrap here? We're going to steal a few. Now run. Because they don't like it when you do that. They like the scrap. They don't like you. Alright. Oh, wait. There's still one more thing we need, isn't there? Well, okay, a few more. We're gonna need a power cell, so let's get ourselves 2 more copper. We just need to find some outcrops. Where are they? There's one. It's titanium. I mean, we needed it, but not as much as we need copper right now. Ah, here's another one. That's some copper. Come on, where are you? Ah. And there's another copper. Alright. Oxygen. 4 acid mushrooms. Yeesh. Okay. So we've got 2 hours before this place starts getting radioactive. Radioactive. Alright, first let's reduce that to titanium. Get ourselves that titanium ingot, and as you guys can see, there's plasteel ingots too. That's used for some of the bigger vehicles. That's lithium and that's 2 lithium and a titanium ingot, but we'll do that later. So now we're gonna make our 2 batteries. Oh, and we're going to grab our silicon rubber from here. Glad we made a lot of that. Make our power cell. Now we're going to grab a lubricant and a lead. That should be everything that we need. We are getting near the end of our video, so we'll finish up this. We'll get ourselves a sea moth, and we'll drive it around for a little bit, and that's where we'll have to call it. Actually, oh right, the glass for the window. Alright, well, like I said, that's why this thing is so important. So we need 2 glass, and each one is 2 quarts, so that's 4 quarts. Alright, and here we go, up and in. Just gotta make these 2 glass. One, 2. Alright, and we'll get back up in here. Now we'll make ourselves that sea moth.
The sea moth is a fast, safe mode of transport, but remember that swimming is good for your glutes and endorphin levels.
And there's our baby.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
So this thing has its own health, its own energy, as you guys can see on the right. And its current maximum depth is 200 meters. But we can actually get many upgrades for that later on. I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys. If you guys want to get a better idea of what is out there and what you guys can see and all of its horrifying glory, at least I think it's pretty horrifying. I'm not afraid of the ocean, but I'm also not a fan of it. Alright, well, I guess we'll listen to one more thing before we go. Anyway, I do want to say thank you to everyone that's subscribed in the last week and a half. It has been a huge joy to me when I wake up and see, hey, someone subscribed, or when I get a notification after a live stream saying, hey, someone new subscribed to you. It's so amazing to me. So I do want to thank all of you for that.
This is Avery Quinn of Trading Ship Sunbeam. Aurora, do you read? Over? Nothing but vacuum. These Altera ships. They run low on engine grease, send an SOS, you offer to help, they don't pick up. Aurora, I'm out on the far side of the system. It's gonna take more than a week to reach your position. Do you still need our assistance? Over. I'll try them again tomorrow. Damn charter's gonna have us blowing our credits running errands for Altera. See what the long-range scans pick up in the meantime.
Alright, so yeah, looks like there's a ship coming to help us out, but we still haven't figured out what caused us to crash in the first place. The scan said something about it receiving critical damage when we were around the planet, so that's probably not a good thing. Anyway, as I was saying, I do want to thank all of you guys very, very much for, especially those of you that have subscribed in the last week and a half, although I cherish and very much appreciate every one of you guys. I am so glad that I have been getting more and more people coming by, saying hi, and deciding that they want to see more of what's happening. So, for those of you watching the video after the fact, there should be a thing on your screen right about now with recommended video on the left and a link to my Patreon on the right. If you're interested, go ahead and go over there. Tell me what you think. Whatever. I'd always appreciate any help I can get. So anyway, this is Redgamemaster signing out, and as always, I hope you all have a wonderful day.